Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. On the November 14th episode of Sister Wives, Janelle Brown nervously questioned Meri Brown about keeping her money safe from their common ex-husbands, Kody Brown and Robyn Brown. When Kody Brown's ex-partners Meri Brown and Janelle Brown met in person on the Sister Wives episode that aired on November 10th, things became, to put it mildly, awkward. In the midst of her protracted conflict with Kody and his sole surviving wife, Robyn Brown, regarding the family's Coyote Pass property, Janelle felt obligated to let Meri know about the financial ramifications of Kody's non-payment. Janelle informed Meri of the 75-day deadline, saying, "If we don't make it, he can repossess the whole thing." Janelle and Kody separated in 2022 after 30 years of spiritual marriage. "We're going to lose it." Even though Meri, who broke up with Kody that same year, reassured Janelle, "I'm not worried about that." It caused Janelle to realize something new. In particular, how she believes she is viewed by the estranged blended family. In her confessional, Janelle stated, "I am starting to realize that Kody has been telling everybody that I am somehow controlling the family's money. And believe me, we would be in a completely different situation if I truly was." Meri even appeared to support Janelle's suspicion. She informed Janelle, "I've been thinking for a long time that you've been handling all of the family's financial matters." Then, Janelle said that Kody, who also broke up with his ex-girlfriend Christine Brown in 2021, has been putting me off for years about paying off Coyote Pass because he doesn't have the money. Furthermore, she doesn't believe that was always the case. "Well, if we prioritized it, there was always money," Janelle said to Meri. However, Meri doesn't appear to be concerned about Kody and Robyn's credibility, even though Janelle is worried about Meri's financial interests. Meri told Janelle, "I don't think there's really any need for protection. In that regard, don't you believe that we have each other's backs?" However, Janelle said, "No, I really don't," in disagreement. Even though Janelle made it clear that she would support Meri, Kody's first wife doesn't believe she is in any danger because of Robyn and her ex. Yes, she would like to completely avoid the escalating situation. In her candid interview, Meri stated, "I feel like everyone in the family has a different opinion about the other person, about what has been happening with the finances. And I'm not sure which is true. I will not choose a side. I will not join the group of ex-wives. The Kody and Robyn club does not include me." When Janelle tells Meri, "I feel like I better protect myself," the very awkward talk ends without any resolution. Meri merely regrets, "Sorry that you feel like that." Continue reading for more shocking revelations from the most recent Sister Wives season. Shortly after their 1990 vows, Kody Brown declared he was prepared to separate from his first wife, Meri Brown. However, Meri said in the September 15th premiere that he led me to believe that he would work on things by saying, "Oh Meri, when we move to Flagstaff, this will be a good time to have a new beginning for us," alluding to their 2018 relocation. Like he led me to believe those things. This is what he's done for many, many years. Her primary complaint, she stated, is his lack of communication, and how he really felt, and what he really wanted, or what he really didn't want in the story that he's been telling for all these years. Also, Kody admitted that there might have been mixed messages, but only because he added, "I'm like, why would I do this?" when he began to work on things. "I would not court and date her now." In any case, when Meri finally pulled the plug in early 2023, her pals were ecstatic. They're like, "Okay, we're here for you, we're supporting you. And it's about damn time," she admitted. "Because if he can push me out and I leave, he's not the bad guy because he didn't walk away," she says, implying that he had been trying to get her to leave him for years by claiming he didn't love her. In the season premiere, Kody said that he was prepared to let the idea die, years after the family had bought the 14-acre plot of land in Flagstaff, Arizona, on which they intended to build. Unable to construct without paying the entire $820,000 price tag, which the family allegedly did in 2023, he said to Robyn Brown, his surviving wife, "I'd almost rather scrap it or sell it, and then just start again somewhere else. I can't talk about that," she said in reference to Robyn. That is so not where I'm at. Janelle Brown, the second wife, had previously informed E! News, we just kind of started to grow apart. But in the end, she left because of Kody's shortcomings as a parent to several of their children. The mom told Logan Brown, Madison Brown Brush, Hunter Brown, Garrison Brown, Gabriel Brown and Savannah Brown. The big spark for me was when his relationship broke down with my children, and he didn't seem like he would move heaven and earth to fix it. And I thought, okay, that was what was really holding me here. Janelle refused to entertain the possibility of reconciliation, even when Kody brought it up in the November 3rd episode. I don't know how I would ever reconcile with him, and have him not have a relationship with my kids, she stated. No, I'm going to always choose my kids. By links promoted by Taboola. That was Kody's justification for not trying harder to patch up the problems he was having with some of his grown children. I don't fit in the family anymore, he complained in the episode that aired on September 15th. Dayton Brown, Aurora Brown, Brianna Brown, Solomon Brown, and Ariella Brown are the 5 children he and Robyn are raising together. He added, and then I have some relationship with some of the other kids, and it's infrequent. And so I'm like, what do I do with all of this? It doesn't feel like a family. We're probably doing the worst we've ever done in our marriage, Robyn admitted in the season 19 premiere. Even though they were being totally monogamous for the first time in their 14-year marriage. It's been tough between us. He doesn't know who to blame, himself or one of the other wives. Kody's feeling a lot of rejection, and so I think he's kind of looking at me going, are you going to reject me too? The worst thing, she summarized, was that there's no resource to help with the idea that I'm still married to a man who's going through divorces. As a result, she disclosed, I'm on my toes. I'm having to consistently make sure that he is not sabotaging our relationship. As Kody shared, I can't look myself in the mirror and say, hey dude, I love you. Kody was experiencing a crisis of confidence. Seeing her former sister wives enjoy their new era was difficult for Robyn. They're all moving on, she said on the episode that aired on October 27th. I feel like the idiot that got left behind. To the list of children Kody isn't currently seeing, add Madison, Janelle's oldest daughter. During the premiere, Janelle clarified, I am aware that Maddie has not spoken to her father. He's not called, she's not called him, and she doesn't have any relationship with Robyn. She's pretty much written them both off. Kody's shaky relationship with Maddie's children, Axel, Evangeline and Josephine, is the problem, according to Janelle. She doesn't really want him to have any contact unless he can commit to it. Because of this, Janelle revealed on the September 22nd episode that when the family started to really dissolve, Kody did sort of cut off communication with Maddie and her husband Caleb Brush, whose sister was married to Kody's brother. Maddie has been mama bear to the extreme, Janelle continued, since Kody has not been calling or coming to see. She has felt like until he can be consistent and show up and not be dramatic, that she feels like it's probably better if they don't know about him. Robyn added that she has been pushing Kody to make amends, but she also stated, I think the kids should be doing the same thing too. Kody, however, seems unprepared to mend the split for the time being, complaining that each time he spoke to his daughter, it was a fish for gossip and I got tired of it. He was alluding to the fact that he never loved me, and he felt like he had to marry me. Meri revealed in a conversation with her friend Brandy during the September 15th premiere, while they were celebrating their 32nd anniversary. Kody, I told him, I know you loved me. In a confessional, Leon Brown's mother asked why he ever proposed if he didn't. Why would a single young man choose to marry a single young woman and simply declare and compel love for her when he didn't feel any feelings for her? How cruel is that, she questioned. I chose you to attempt to force myself to love for the next 32 years, he said, picking me out of a crowd. In his own confessional, Kody responded, oh, Meri has her little allegations now. All right, she is free to say whatever she wants. I will refrain from commenting on it. He would, however, admit that they never relished their honeymoon. During the October 20th show, he argued, this marriage was on the rocks the entire marriage. And how would I know that? Because my relationships with Robyn, Christine, and Janelle were so much better. Even though he acknowledged that he should have gotten out of the relationship 25 years ago, he remained because he was afraid, saying, "Leadership will never allow you to marry again if you're discarding wives. I think I'm going to have to lawyer up," Janelle admitted to former sister-wife Christine Brown in the September 22nd episode, "because I think that's the only way I'm ever going to get any kind of decision out of him." Janelle stated that step one was paying off the Arizona property, even though she wasn't sure if she wanted to build on Coyote Pass or just sell it off. Without a valid marriage to Kody, Janelle admitted, "I really have no legal rights to make any kind of claim on Kody's property." In her own words, "It's not like I'm just calling a lawyer and saying I need to divorce this person. No, there isn't a legal marriage, which makes things quite difficult." Kody claims that he no longer trusted Janelle, which is why he didn't discuss their Arizona property with her. "We will pay off the property when the time comes," he maintained during a confessional in the September 22nd episode, adding, "And I'm not giving you any details about what I'm doing or whatever because I'm tired of disclosing information that goes through the gossip mill of our broken family." In her own interview, Janelle described it as a bit of a pot calling the kettle black. "He leaks like a sieve," she said. "He told me stuff about his other relationships and his other wives that I was like, I don't think you're supposed to be telling me that." The family used to put all of their money into one pot back when their love was still growing rather than shrinking. On the September 22nd show, Janelle stated, "Up until the last 10 or so years, that's how it always worked. We would use all the resources to help one person. Then we would all rally to support the other person. Suddenly, it's about my estate, even though everyone needs their own estate." They all helped to purchase Robyn's $1.65 million 5-bedroom house in Arizona when she needed a place to live. It was put up for sale this past August. According to Robyn, the idea was that it would be a benefit to the family. However, when Janelle proposed that they all put their names on the mortgage, she was rejected. Kody was like, No, we need to protect Robyn's estate," Janelle recalled. Therefore, now that she is leaving the family, she would like her share of the Coyote Pass proceeds, "And I'd like to recoup some of the money I put into Robyn's house. However, it can be difficult to sell. We were working together for so long," Robyn said, and Robyn continued, "It's like, how do you calculate?" After Janelle claimed she owed them money. "How do you calculate that? It's really perplexing. I see all the art on their walls," Janelle said of Robyn and Kody's house, "but I've seen him grab other assets like trailers and home decor." Janelle griped about the family's failure to pay for Coyote Pass, saying that Kody claimed to have all these other debts. "And that's okay. I have money and I've spent it on things too." Kody claimed that a large portion of his money was used to purchase cars, basically had a fleet, and child insurance. "I used to always be surprised at how nice her backyard was," Janelle said, adding that she wasn't sure how Kody and Robyn managed their expenses. "It was finished. Additionally, there was always stuff at her place. And I thought, wow. Finally, she wore herself down by saying, "He doesn't prioritize what I need or what I want." I think after a while, I began to see it, and my kids were getting very angry about it, like my adult children. Like, "Mom, what the hell?" In Robyn's opinion, though, she was extremely frugal after her first marriage failed. During the September 22nd show, she revealed, "I used to be not so great with money. When I was young, I had hard knocks. And then I learned during my divorce really how to budget myself very, very well." When asked about her fellow sister wives, she replied, "You just must have had a different priority of where your money was going to go than I did. That's all." While she and Christine, the mother of Aspen Brown, Michael T. Brown Padron, Paydon Brown, Gwendolyn Brown, Isabel Brown and Truly Brown, gather with their children, Janelle admitted in the September 22nd episode that there's no contact, really, with Meri or Robyn or Kody. "I don't really foresee that's going to change much. Everything was going along smoothly and Maddie and Caleb were around, and it was great having them around. And I loved Caleb. He was definitely like family," Kody added, referring to their arrangement of 4 houses on a cul-de-sac during their time in Las Vegas as the best time of my life. However, as they disagreed about procedures relating to the coronavirus, things started to fall apart in Arizona. He said that his ties with the children suffered as a result of his marriages failing, saying, "It just made all those relationships go sour." However, Christine maintained that there were problems long before she made her departure known in late 2021. She stated, "All the kids that were frustrated way before I left," during the show that aired last September 22nd. "My leaving didn't change his kids' relationship with him. Kody can still fix his relationships with his children. However, it will undoubtedly require some effort. I'm so angry about how I've been treated that I haven't gotten past that," Kody said. "Here's the thing is I'm not willing to take blame for things that my wife or ex-wife is sitting there telling them that I did. I hope the time comes when the contempt will subside. We'll be able to find forgiveness and love again." Kody disclosed that when he and Meri were officially married at the age of 19 and spiritually married at the age of 21, respectively, they didn't really know one another. In order for Kody to lawfully adopt Robyn's 3 oldest children from her first marriage, they ultimately filed for divorce in 2014. He said that everything was a conflict, saying, "I can't live in a world where she is constantly angry at me. When we got married, she was very different, and I think just there's some baggage that Meri had that I didn't know about," Kody explained. "At first, I felt like I could live with it. However, he was unable to leave." According to a man in a plural marriage, Kody stated, he cannot ask for a divorce if he wishes to remain true and in his beliefs. "It is not permitted. I therefore couldn't leave that relationship. I didn't necessarily want to end the connection though. I wanted to know if it was something we could fix and save." Kody added, "She wasn't nice, she wasn't fun, she wasn't kind, and she wasn't interesting. This is why he stated to Meri that he thought they would work things out. I'm bored and trying to be curious with her. But I didn't kick me out," he said, acknowledging that he could understand Meri's sense of abandonment. "Meri, Janelle, and Christine all decided to have me leave the house. Meri requested an official separation, known as a release, from their church in late 2022, even though Janelle and Christine believed they didn't need to divorce Kody because their marriage was never lawful. She clarified in the September 22nd episode that it was through our church when each of us 4 ladies married Kody. Of course, we can't all be legally married, but it was what we called a covenant. Therefore, I believe it would be best to end it, as we are not planning to get married, and I don't want to be permanently bound to him if he doesn't want me. And I'm at the point where I think we should simply put this out of our minds entirely." She went on to say that Kody was opposed to the notion because he did not want to acknowledge the authority of the church authorities. Kody clarified his position by saying, "The damage was done so badly that we're not going to reconcile no matter what. But since we are accountable to God, I don't want to be accountable to this church and all their BS. Since it will turn into a quarrel if I become upset with Meri, I'm going to let her go and do what she wants to do." And it took her a long time to comprehend that it had been done and over for years. "So I just needed her to leave. It all went bad. It all went south," Christine explained, describing how a text message argument over a 2021 holiday gift exchange grew especially ugly for the 18 Brown children. Kody and Robyn and their kids were on one side, and they wanted nothing to do with Janelle, me, and our kids. And following this text thread, there was a division. But it was never anything about, "We don't want to see you again. We don't want anything to do with you," Robyn insisted, adding that her 3 older children felt the exchange was emotionally unsafe and that they needed to distance themselves from the relationship. It was just about like, "Hey, this got yucky." Gabriel, for his part, hopes they can track each other down again. In the October 13th episode, he admitted, "The thing I want most is to just have a relationship with Robyn's children again. My favorite person to hang out with in middle school was Aurora, and I was constantly trying to get close to Dayton in high school. However, I'm not optimistic about a relationship with Robyn and Dad." When Aurora's mother married Kody in 2010, she insisted on joining the family, saying, "I have been told directly multiple circumstances by multiple different people that I was not accepted, that I wasn't their sister, and that they didn't think or perceive me that way." Brianna, her sister, also expressed her opinion that the parents could have done a better job with, connecting us as a family, and it never really happened. Christine, however, is unsure of how they may have extended their embrace. "Robyn's kids and Robyn were invited to everything," she maintained. "I would just say, Just come in. Come into the house anytime you want. She also mentioned that Michael T. Brown Padron lived with Robyn's children for a while, and that her daughter Isabel Brown was very close to them. There were hard times and my kids were frustrated. But they always considered Robyn's kids their siblings just the same. When it's working properly, you have this amazing family unit that you're part of, a community that you're plugged into, Janelle remarked, gushing over the independence she was granted in plural marriage. You have everything you need, including a wonderful connection with your spouse. After that, I am completely independent. Therefore, plural marriage seemed like a really wonderful arrangement to me. According to Janelle, once the family moved to Arizona from Las Vegas in 2018, Kody found it more difficult to split his affections. I'm really tired, she said on the September 29th show, adding, Kody found it a lot easier to be away when he moved to Flagstaff. A couple of times I had to remind him that he needed to come to my house. She also revealed that he would try to beg off because he was fatigued. You can rest at my house just as much as you can at Robyn's house, I said. The problem for Christine's children, however, was that they saw that Robyn and their dad were a couple, and he wasn't in our home. Janelle described the separateness her brood felt with Robyn, saying, my children were scolded if they would open up Robyn's fridge. Robyn added that her crew was aware of the division. Meri, across the board, was very accepting of my kids and I, but the rest of the family really struggled to accept my kids and I, she said in the episode on September 29th. All we wanted to do was be a part of this family. However, Gabriel would contend that he and his siblings made a concerted effort to include them. In the episode that aired on October 13th, he stated, I think that Robyn definitely has a victim complex, to put it plainly. And for that, I don't necessarily hold her accountable. You know, I believe that various people come up with different ways to stay afloat. But he continued, if she actually believes that we were mistreating her, or her children, in any way when she was constantly getting favorited by dad, and we were always working on our relationship with her kids. If she actually believes that, then there's no chance of me having a relationship with Robyn ever again. In the September 29th episode, Kody talked about how his and Robyn's youngest child, Ariella, who was born in January 2016, clung to his leg as he tried to depart, demonstrating how having their dad move between 4 different houses did have an impact on his 18 children. There's another wife who needs me, another mother, I had to tell her. And she's just dragging along on my legs screaming, don't leave me, daddy, don't leave me. And I'm like, golly man, this is hard. Kody explained, I have other kids that need to see me. Janelle insisted, unfortunately, that's just a reality of plural marriage. From the very beginning, she continued, her children understood that their father would not be there all the time. I've always thought Robyn and Kody handled her kids' problems poorly. Ari gets really depressed or something, so he couldn't be gone for longer than 3 or 4 days. I think that was a bad parenting move. The other children have done it throughout the family's history, and they are doing just fine. They are mature, well-adjusted individuals. During Kody's divorces, Michael T., a mother of 3 and one of the few Brown children still close to Robyn and Kody, as well as Christine and Janelle, played the role of peacekeeper. Robyn was close to Michael T. from the time she joined the Brown family, and she was even invited to attend the birth of her twins, Archer and Ace, in November 2022. I was trying to figure out who I was when Robyn first joined the family, and she made me feel special, and she made me feel seen, Michael T. said in the episode that aired on September 29th. Robyn was there for me when I needed somebody. When I needed someone to listen to me and show me love, she was there. I was so excited about having a plural family, and I was hoping that my kids would have a great relationship with other moms, Christine, her mother, said in the October 6th episode. And it was everything that I hoped for when Robyn came in the family, and it was obvious she and Michael T. had a great relationship. In the October 6th episodes, Kody discussed his estrangement from some of his older children and said, I am only guilty of not falling madly in love with their mothers. He feels that his wives are not the only ones who have taken him away from their lives. They're purposely leaving me out of their lives to punish me for a crime I did not commit, he explained. Furthermore, he added he believes his ex-spouses share some of the responsibility. It's like, well, blame Dad. He stated, this discrepancy in my relationship with my kids is directly in my mind because of SD talk. There's this tornado of disappointment from the family breaking up or anything. Dad made a mistake. Kody revealed that he was having trouble connecting with Hunter, Maddie, and Gabriel, and that one of his children replied to a text message saying, "You are a piece of trash." Although he can take some of the blame, he finds the name-calling offensive. In any case, I would never talk to you again. I've had one of my kids just say, "You're an a-hole," he told cameras earlier in a different instance. I will never speak to you again. You brainwashed me and controlled me, and that's the poison he doesn't want to deal with. I'm willing to make the effort, but somebody else is going to have to be on the other end of that, and make some effort too, he said, adding that he believes his grown-ups should be doing more to make things better. Robyn found it extremely painful to witness Kody's alienation from his grown children. During the October 6th show, she stated, "My parents divorced when I was a child. He lived with one wife in another city, and then my mom lived alone. I recall asking, 'What happened?' to my biological father. Why? It was terrible that all he did was offer a series of weak justifications for why he didn't support me when I was younger. I'm having a hard time feeling like losing respect for you a little bit," she said during their heated on-camera dispute in late 2022, indicating that she wasn't going to let Kody's hurt feelings prevent him from trying. Kody also admitted that he might be doing more to improve his relationship with his children, but he insisted that he must first heal his heart. He disclosed that he believes some of his children are colluding against me, saying, "I'm so upset about what has transpired that if I speak to my children, I'm afraid they'll accuse me. I'm too impulsive at the moment. I'll only cause more harm." When Janelle and Kody's oldest son Logan married his now-wife Michelle Petty in October 2022, a large portion of the family was present, but they weren't quite feeling the love. In the October 6th episode, Kody complained to Robyn, "You saw Madison take her kids and scuttle them away from me." He also mentioned that his daughter Josephine had not informed him that she was expecting her third child, which was born in February 2023. Since they don't talk much, Maddie doesn't really tell her dad anything. Janelle clarified why her daughter avoided Kody at the wedding by saying, "Really, Maddie doesn't have any contact with him. She is fiercely protective of her kids." Since Evie was born and Evie was 3.5 years old, Kody has not been present. Additionally, she didn't want him to simply walk in and say, "Oh, I'm your grandpa," to which they would respond, "What? Who is this man?" In reference to Maddie's life in North Carolina, Kody stated, "It's unrealistic expectation for grandparents to be in their grandchildren's lives all the time, especially if you move your children to an entirely different coast. I have work and a life in Flagstaff." One recurring issue is Kody's insistence on some kind of mea culpa, even though it's evident that he and his adult children have quite different perspectives on their continued separation. After the COVID scare was over, and we all went back to our normal lives, we still couldn't reconcile as a family, because Kody felt like the boys needed to give an apology to him, and to Robyn, especially to Robyn, Janelle said of her sons in the October 13th incident. "And after it sort of morphed into this, well, they just need to come and talk to me. And the most precious person in this family who's given her heart and soul has been disrespected or some bull's tea like that," Janelle added, summarizing Kody's problem, which was that he believed his children had not been faithful to him. "And I'm like, whatever, Kody. Yeah, whatever." Gabriel took a similar stand, recounting a discussion he had with his father. He kept phrasing it like I owed him an apology, he told Janelle on the subject. "Eventually I was just like, hey, unless you're actually ready to have a relationship and fix things, then we're not going to talk anymore." He came back a couple of days later and texted me. He's like, "Hey, I've been thinking about what you've been saying. I forgive you, please forgive me." I was like, "Forgive me for what?" Kody only sees his youngest child, Savannah, out of the 6 he and Janelle have. It's not frequently, but every couple months he'll call, and they'll go out, Janelle explained in the episode that aired on October 13th. The rest of the kids don't really have much of any kind of connection with him. Savannah, who graduated from high school in 2023, feels that her 4 older brothers have assumed the position of a father figure. The girl has even admitted to Janelle that she hopes to have her siblings marry her. I've talked to Savannah about it and she's like, "Look, I just have come to realize that this is who he is," said Janelle. "He's going to be kind of that dad who shows up and we have a lot of fun, and then he's gone. I can meet him where he's at. It's okay." But Janelle is less understanding. She bemoaned, "I'm just so frustrated with Kody. Look, I've seen this happen. I have several women I've worked with over the years who divorced. And then the father just goes MIA with the kids." Gabriel took it very hard, because Kody was someone who would take Gabriel with him on business trips. Janelle said early in their father-son conflict, Kody was a totally engaged father until the last few years. In the episode that aired on October 13th, Gabriel stated, "I told Dad that if he doesn't change, and he can't take accountability, then I just won't ever see him again. And I'm perfectly okay with that." Despite this, Gabriel is still a little upset over what he did to upend his father. According to Janelle, he's at peace that his dad is not in his life. And that's what I hope for all of my kids. And I think they're all getting here. Kody, for his part, seemed to be accepting of the circumstances. In a confessional, he said, "I'm really sorry that Gabriel feels that way. I have reached out to him multiple times only to get rejected. But it wasn't from a lack of trying on my part." Despite being the final wife to divorce Kody, Meri formally ended their relationship in late 2022 by asking for and getting what their church refers to as a release on the basis of abandonment. On the October 13th episode, she said, "I know he doesn't like that word, because he doesn't feel like he abandoned me. I feel like he did." She believes that he essentially disregarded her until she decided to go, so that he could say, "My hands are clean." Furthermore, Kody acknowledged that he had a small plan. He said, "I had moved on a long time ago," during a confession. "But let's just be honest here. I was afraid of what she would do if I ripped off that Band-Aid. It's because Meri was never loyal to me ever. That's what I've been worried about. It's just kind of reputation, because when you get divorced, your reputation is trashed." Meri claimed that instead, it was hers that was being damaged. "It's really just sad that Kody's talking about our marriage the way that he's talking about it," she stated. "It feels like the narrative has changed with him, but the things that he's saying about me to other people, and the people are believing are not true." Thanks to an exercise suggested by their marital and family therapist in Las Vegas, Christina discovered years before she and Kody parted ways that they weren't a good fit on paper. And Kody wasn't any of the things on the list. Christine disclosed on the October 20th episode, after being asked to write down the qualities she wanted in a husband. It included being a good communicator, being present in her and her children's lives, and being attracted to her. I told him the list and he's like, "I'm not any of those things for you." I said, "No, you're not." She rapidly realized that her now husband David Woolley was her soulmate, in part because of the missive. She exclaimed, "Family is his most important thing to him," about the father of 8 who was widowed. He's owned his own drywall business. He has a reputation of being honest and real with people, and he's really a great communicator.